Before there was architecture, before there were textiles, before there was anything much, there was the word. There were human beings communicating with each other. There was the chant, there was the ritual, there was the saga which enacted and rehearsed the great deeds of the ancestors. There were genealogies being recited. There were particular formulas recited in certain key types of event that demarcated the sacred from the profane, both in terms of times of day, times of the year, seasons, special times, festivals, and also places. As we approach certain sanctuaries, certain words seem to come naturally from us. And this is a very ancient and primordial human need, and it's part of our healthiness, the Aboriginal in Australia, who knows which is the appropriate chant to make as he goes past each of the familiar landforms that form his tribal range. So we're dealing here with something that is from the last of the major world religions and enormously encapsulated in its poetic output and its output of song, because song and poetry are not really separable in Islamic civilization, because the meters of our poetry are also meters that originate in practices of recital, camel driving, and they are naturally musical, but also represent something that is from the fitra, something very ancient about Islamic civilization, the fact of the chant, the adhan, the talbiyah, the takbir. These are practices by which we reconnect to what is really ancient and primordial about our humanity, and hence they're necessarily health-giving. Our modernity represents a divorce of ourselves as embodied consciousnesses from what is natural to our species, a normal environment, engagement with nature, being subject to night and day, being subject to the seasons, being subject to gradations of sacred and profane. All of that has been confiscated, and as a result we see the metabolism starting to break down. We see all kinds of nervous illnesses, all kinds of disorders, anxiety issues, depression, and also allergies, asthma, things which are proliferating. There's something wrong with us. And so the blessing of religion, or one of its blessings, is that it reconnects us with the natural fitri form of life. We need to produce rhythmic cadences because we've always done that for hundreds of thousands of years. It's normal to our species. And the neuroscientists are very clear that certain endorphins are released in the brain as a result of certain rhythmic syncopated chants. It's part of what our metabolism needs, and it's part of our well-being as human beings to maintain that tradition.